Well, hello, everybody. Let me try to fix my YouTube destination since it doesn't seem to want to go live tonight. It was Rumble, guys. I didn't think we were going to get. Oh, yeah, we got YouTube live now. What do you know? Supposedly. We'll see. Yep. Okay, so it appears we're live everywhere we should be. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Not liking the lighting tonight. Better the lighting than the camera in the studio, though. So I decided not to try a new studio software tonight. I am in Eddie's StreamYard studio. So we've been talking about how to continue using StreamYard without going broke between us. And so if you guys want to donate, it would help. It is going to cost us about $400 a year. So anyway, so tonight, oh, you're all so quiet out there. You usually have people going, hey, hello, hello. And I know there's people out there watching. So I didn't want to, Tatiana, Privyet. So I didn't want to talk about May 9th or May 1st or anything again, since we did that last week, although it was a bit painful. And I really haven't been on top of the Crimea news. So, with the parades and the holidays and stuff, just wasn't in the cards this week. So what I was working on this week while I was also working, meetings are a great productivity thing for when you want to do non-work things, is what I titled this all as is we have a new Substack. I renamed the InfoWars Press YouTube channel, Telegram channel, and YouTube, Telegram, and X channel to the Ministry of Absolute Truth, simply because I wanted to cover the same sorts of propaganda-like things, but I wanted to do it more in a satirical way. And I've been doing a lot more writing because, quite honestly, I'm having a lot more traction in my writing with the InfoWars Press stuff than I am on YouTube. So we may eliminate the YouTube channel, if people aren't subscribing and joining and climbing in there. And simply do Crimea stuff here and occasional geopolitics stuff with Eddie. Eddie says we're going to do another stream tomorrow. I know I've been telling you the guys that every week for about a month now. But he's been a busy man too, and we're talking about going again tomorrow. So that was the first thing I wanted to announce to you. And is what I'm going to do is I'll show you. This is the Ministry of Absolute Truth website, Substack. And I'll show you a little bit about what's currently out there. Now, there are a couple of paid posts here. I admit that. I'm trying to make everything on this particular channel free stuff that I'm writing about. This will be the general propaganda stuff, just some general all-around stuff. Yeah, I took the paid thing off of all of these. So if you guys want to go out and subscribe, if you're interested in that sort of stuff, there's the URL. And of course, it's under my name as well. So go out there, join. All of that writing is free. You can choose to become a paid subscriber if you just want to support me in that stuff. And but that stuff I won't put behind a paywall. Now, the other thing I've done is I've broken off a new series, and this is at ministryofabsolutetruth.org/S. You have to have that, the great narrative. Or if you're out on this page, as you can see, you can click the great narrative tab up there at the top. So right up here, and that'll take you to that page. So the great narrative is a series, and this will go out once a week. I've got the next 10 weeks already queued up to go out. And, this is talking about manufactured storylines and narratives being told by the West. So I'll give you a lot of comparisons about what you hear in the West and what it actually means. I will also tell you what you hear in Russia and what it means on the other side. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, then that is what you want to do. And right now, I've got one article there. It is a free article. It is an introductory article, but everything beyond that will be pay to view. Now, what I'm going to do for my viewers, I'll give you a look at what I've got queued up to go out. So right now, these are the articles that are scheduled. On the 11th, I have scheduled a special dispatch getting you free subscriptions. And this article, I'm going to push it out right now. Well, this isn't free. I'll give everybody who goes here and clicks on the link 30% off on paid subscriptions. And that's for a limited time. That'll be through June 9th. However, what I am going to do for my viewers right now, those of you who are interested in this kind of thing, that are watching this stream, if you go on to my Telegram, and let's put that up there. Go to the Telegram. No, wrong one. Telegram. I didn't put Telegram in. Hang on a sec. t.me/Infowars Press. I didn't change the name of this one because you can't change a name in Telegram. But it's titled right now, Infowars Press / Ministry of Absolute Truth. If you go out to Telegram tonight and you send me a message, and you can PM me. Hey, Georges, if you PM me on Telegram, and I guess I should give you that too, shouldn't I? Since I'm in Eddie's studio, I don't have all this stuff in there. If you go here on Telegram and you send me a private message, I will comp you 3 months free subscription to the paid series on the paid series one on the great narrative. So that'll get you 3 free months, and you will get an email after you subscribe to that channel. And if you share that channel with other people and they subscribe, you can earn additional free months of subscription. So whether they join as a paid subscriber or if they just subscribe in general, after 3, I'll give you another month. After I think it's 5, I'll give you 3 more months. So it's kind of a tiered thing like that. So just a way to build my Substack up a little bit. So I'll comp you 3 months of free paid subscription. and you can earn more as long as you're interested in that kind of thing. So again, I'm doing it in kind of a satirical, humorous, Orwellian fashion, and is what I'm going to do right now, so you can see me do it. Is there will be a link. We'll put it on the screen. Special dispatch scheduled for tomorrow at 7 a.m. But is what I'm going to do, since you guys are here watching me, is if you want longer than the free ones, or you just want to support the channel, whatever, I'll still, if you subscribe and pay, and I give you the extra 3 months free, they will actually add on to your subscription. So if you subscribe for a month, you'll have 4 months. If you subscribe for a year, you'll have a year and 3 months. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unschedule this, and I am going to email this to all my subscribers right now. And we'll push that out. And is what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this link here in the chat. And if you copy that link out of the chat and you go there, you can get that 30% discount. But like I say, you guys only, those of you who are watching tonight, send me an email or send me a PM in Telegram. My email is in the description of the American in Crimea channel. So you can email me or send me a message in Telegram. Tell me you saw the deal on the YouTube stream, and I will comp you 3 free months of those articles so you can see if you like them or not. And like I say, something I'm only doing for my YouTube viewers. So that being said, that's really what I wanted to, I'll tell you what, I'll even give you guys a preview. You guys won't see this when you go out there, because this is the stuff that I've got. Let's see, scheduled. So the algorithmic empire is going to be next week's. This one, Bots of Empire. This is what chatbots sound, why they sound like the US State Department. So it's a real good one about ChatGPT, Grok, even DeepSeek, Yandex, Alice. So it gets into all of those. So you can see that free on the 13th. But next Friday, this is the paid post that's going out. And this is the kind of things you'll see on it. It talks about the manufacture of, the answers you get from AI, why machine learning lies to you. This is an AI specific one. So it talks about what you hear versus what they're actually talking about. You can always see a preview of these posts, but where it says paid content below this line, that's paid stuff. So this particular article talks about who trains the AI that you listen to when you're getting answers from it. And again, here's a situation. Who teaches your AI to think? You've got the Open AI Association, and it's actually advised by ex-national security advisors. Intel Q, which is another one, is actually U.S. intelligence. So these are things you really need to know when you're dealing with AI on the internet. And this entire series will talk not only about what you hear, what it means, when they call Russia one thing and what they, don't like them, and if it's somebody they like, what they talk to them. As you can see, I've got several AIs we deal with here, but I will be going through this not only with AI. AI was kind of my big thing this week because, and I told one of the guys today I was chatting with in Telegram. I was going to get into this a little bit because AI was on my mind because I actually had a knockdown, drag out fight with ChatGPT and Grok this week. I was doing some research on some things and I asked a very innocuous question. And I got a very Western answer that said, Russia is bad, the US is good. And I said, look, I asked you for a balanced answer. I didn't ask for one-sided. And it came back and it said, oh, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. Let's give you a balanced answer. And it went to Western narrative again. And I went through about 15 questions with the darn thing before I got a reasonable answer out of it. So then I had to think, well, let's go out and let's see what the Chinese algorithms do. And of course, so I got different slants on things. If you can get an answer out of DeepSeek, you will actually get a relatively factual answer out of it. Same thing with Alice. Now, I'll tell you something about Yandex Alice. If you ask it in English, any political question, you're likely to get there's some things I can't talk about or I don't have enough information on that. I learned that the hard way too. If you ask it in Russian, it will give you a reasonable answer. So that's why I got off on the AI stuff this week. So there will be several AI-ish articles, but I've got some that are not related to AI at all. And let's see if I can get that up on the screen here. So this is what I've got in the queue right now. The grand narrative will be coming out in a couple of weeks. That's about mainstream media in general, Operation Memory Hole, how they're trying to program people's minds. The Memory War Chronicles talks about different wars through the years and how they were presented to different sides and things like that. So I've got a lot of things queued up for you guys if you're interested in that kind of thing. And if you don't want to be, if you subscribe, you send me an email, a Telegram PM, and watch what comes out over the next 3 months. If it's not something you like, you don't have to subscribe. If it's stuff you like, but it's not worth paying for to you, just go to the Ministry of absolutetruth.org, and everything in that part of the channel is free articles. So what I'm trying to do right now is one on each one per week. I flooded my subscribers with about 6 over the last 7 days. So, but I'm going to try to do one free article, one paid article per week. And hope I can keep that up. And like I say, if if the InfoWars Press, which is now Ministry of YouTube.com, Ministry of Absolute Truth. This is what I renamed the InfoWars Press YouTube channel to. If there's enough interest, I will do streams on this content as well. If there's not, I will probably eliminate this channel because it really hasn't gotten off the ground and I don't have a lot of spare time right now to be doing multiple channels, multiple articles, multiple Telegram channels. So the fate of this YouTube channel is in your hands. So that said, I'm also on X. Did we get X in here? Nope, didn't put X in here. X.com. Oh, what is my X handle? I don't know. I'll get it for you later. But we are on X. It's in the description below the video. Both channels are on X. Both are on Telegram. It's all in the link below. We are on YouTube. We're on RooTube. And we are on, hopefully tonight, Rumble. StreamYard wasn't cooperating with Rumble tonight, so I did some tricks kind of behind the scenes. We'll see what happens there. So that is the main thing I wanted to talk about. Now, I want to get into some things about money transfers to Russia, because I have had people annoying the living daylights out of me. And I keep promising I'll do a short series of videos that talks about this so that I can change the relevant parts as time progresses. Because in Russia, the laws change quickly, and often. I had somebody transfer money to me almost a year ago, and she was coming here. She was going to buy an apartment. She transferred her money, didn't get here before she came because she had problems on her end. It wasn't on my end. So after she left, she tried sending it again. It got here. She was going to come back in 2 months, and I've been hanging on to her money for a year now. And it's been, I'm going to come next month. I'm going to come in 2 months. I'm going to come in, October. I'm coming in December. I'm coming in February. I'm coming in March. I'm coming in April. And all of a sudden, believe it or not, and Eddie will love this one. I may make him watch this video because I told him I was going to tell him about this. I got a call from the police department. She wrote President Putin and said, I transferred my money to Kevin to get it to Russia, and he refuses to give me my money. Well, she's in the United States. She hasn't come for it. There's a reason I do a contract with people when I'm transferring more than a couple $1,000s. And this is why. I went to the police. I showed them our chats. I showed them where she said she was coming. She's coming. She's coming. She's coming. And I showed them the contract, and they said, you got a contract. They sent it off to President Putin and said, guy has a contract. He's got her money. I've still got it in an escrow account. And I gave them a copy of that. So now, just the type of person this is. She also told President Putin that the embassy in New York took her documents and refused to return them. So this is the kind of person it is. So this is why I put down the rules I do. So be aware of that. Now, yes, I get people come to me and they complain about the fact that I charge 7.5% today. A year ago, I was charging 6%. It costs me money to bring money from the West and to get it here following all Russian Federation laws. So I require KYC because Russia requires KYC. KYC means know your customer. That means I have to have a copy of your passport. If you have a Russian visa, I need a copy of it. And if you don't, when you get one, you need to send it to me. And I need a copy of your bank requisites when you get your Russian bank opened. I need the telephone number that's on the bank account. And and I need a contract. These are all requirements that I have to have. And people don't understand this. They go, well, why do you have to have a copy of my passport? Well, because the Russian Federation says I have to. And reality is when money comes into my bank account, it gets reported to the central bank. When money goes out of my bank account, it gets reported to the central bank. If it's going to your bank account, it gets reported to the central bank. They keep an eye on this because they're trying to prevent fraud of elderly people. They're trying to prevent fraud with the neighboring country that they're in conflict with. So there's a lot of rules around where money's coming from and going to, because they want to make sure it's not funding the Ukrainian military. It's a reasonable thing for a country at war. So this is why I have these requirements. Now, I will repeat this. I say, you've all heard me say this before. From the time you transfer money to my US bank account, it takes 48 to 72 hours for amounts up to $50,000. Anything above that, it takes me a few more days to get it here. So if you, and not counting weekends and holidays, that's holidays there, holidays here. So if you send me money late on my Friday night and you're pinging me on Saturday saying, where's my money? You're going to annoy me and you're going to get yourself put on my blacklist. I have a few people on it. It's usually people who are transferring very small sums of money. I will not do less than 2,000 US dollars unless you're a good friend of mine or you give me a compelling reason why I should do it for you. Because I find these are the people who cause me the most trouble. I've had people complain that I will charge them for a consultation if they're asking way too many questions on things that I've already covered multiple times. And if 30 bucks is too much money for you for 30 minutes, or, you know, usually it goes into an hour of my time, then, you know, I don't do this to earn a living. I actually have a job that I earn good money at. So, you know, just be aware, I don't have to do this for anyone. I'm doing it to help people. If you want help, I'll help you. I have costs to do it legally. If you want to do it illegally, I could tell you who to go to, but I can tell you that they won't be doing it for long. Cryptocurrency, if you know how to buy your own crypto, I can get it converted for you legally. And, you know, but it's going to cost you 3%. You transfer a large amount of money, I am apt to give you somewhat of a discount, but I can only discount so much because it costs me this much to transfer it. I'm paying a bank in Canada. I'm paying an associate of mine who's transferring it to another bank, who transfers it to another bank. Even if I go through crypto, I've got to transfer to my broker's bank. I have to pay him for the crypto. It costs a lot of money to do it in a legal fashion. So, Dave, thank you. You know, it's guys like you, Dave, that I appreciate doing business with, because you understand that, you know, the knowledge is worth something. And I've got somebody in Telegram just today who spent a whole day asking me questions. And I probably spent 3-4 hours with her answering questions. And, you know, I don't have time for that, quite honestly. If you're transferring a large amount of money, you pay for a consultation, you likely, I will take it out of your cost of transferring the money. If you're a good person and I like you and we get along okay, I do require a video call for that consultation. I get people who will get on, they don't want to give me their real name. They want to not have their camera on. And reality is there is nothing that the authorities in either end of the world don't know about you that you're hiding. If you're in Telegram and you're not using your real name, that's fine. You ping me. You might as well tell me your real name up front, because you're going to have to in order to get me to help you anyway. And I can find anybody's name on Telegram if I have to. But it's not worth my trouble doing it. So I'm not going to do the work if I don't have to. Let's see, west2freedom.com. If you do need a consultation, you can go here. Usually somebody pays for a consultation. They're getting a lot more time than they've paid for, because I'm a chatter and I will answer all your questions. So I shouldn't tell you that. I shouldn't tell you that you'll get a 60-minute consultation if you pay for a 30. But usually you will. And I'll usually do follow-up questions because I know you're serious about what you're asking about and what you're doing. But if I schedule 30 minutes with you and I have a meeting and I only have that 30 minutes, that's all you'll get. So it just kind of depends. So you can go to westofreedom.com. All of our services are out there. The FAQ looks like it's broken today. I just noticed that today. But it answers a lot of the questions. And, if you want to schedule time, then great. I'm happy to answer any questions, immigration or otherwise. And I'll talk about that too. George's, when paying cash for a house or apartment, how quickly can one close the purchase and obtain the title and keys? In Russia, it can be anywhere from a day to whatever you can convince the people to give you. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I shouldn't say a day. 10 days to whatever you convince them to give you. Everything is done in cash here. If you go to the bank and you borrow money to pay for the house, you're going to take cash to the notary anyway. You go to the notary, you sign the sales contract or the sales agreement with the people you're buying the house from. It will lay out when they are willing to let you occupy the building. I have bought property where the people are, you can have it tomorrow. I sold one of our apartments a couple of years ago to somebody. And, it was all about negotiating. Our house wasn't ready yet. We didn't expect it to sell so quickly. So she wasn't coming here from Moscow for a while. We negotiated with her that we could stay in it for 3 months and pay her rent on it. And it was a pretty low rent that we gave her on it. Just losing my voice, sorry. So we paid her 30,000 rubles a month, $300 at the time, a month for our 80 square meter apartment until our house was ready and we moved into it, and then she took it over. We paid for it within a week. So you go to the notary, you sign the papers. The notary will put the money in escrow and in her escrow account. The notary will search to make sure that there's no taxes due, no utilities due, basically that the title's clear. And when it is and the paper comes back, then you can come back and you can pick it up. And, when the people give you the keys, again, it's everything is negotiable in Russia. Some people will give you the keys ahead of time and, they figure what the heck, you're buying it anyway. And they're confident everything is clear. If it's not, well, you may walk away from it, but they aren't going to walk away from it. You may get them to pay it off, whatever. So I've seen people, if the notary gets it done, in a week, you can have it all done in a week. And I've seen people, I know of a guy in Yalta that my wife translated at the notary for, and he paid half down 2 months ago, and he's coming back next month to pay the balance. And all the paperwork's been done and everything. So when he pays the balance, he gets the keys and he gets the title to the property. So again, something to be aware of. If you're buying property in Russia, the notaries will not do the paperwork for you if you don't speak Russian, unless you bring a certified translator with you. So, this guy didn't speak Russian, or a little bit, but not good enough. So she made him have an interpreter, and he actually got the realtor through me. So she called my wife and said, "Will you interpret for him?" So she did. He had to pay for her services, yes. I don't hide the fact that we make money to do this stuff for people. And so it's actually pretty easy. Again, everything's negotiable here. I'm trying to think of some other oddball situations I've dealt with on property. You're welcome, Georges. And cash is king. So, but beware. I'm buying an apartment in Moscow. We've got a couple that we're looking at, and there's a building that my wife really, really, really wants an apartment in. Very old Soviet built building, walls like this, stone walls, beautiful architecture, but they haven't remodeled since probably when the thing was built in the early 1900s, the 1800s, Tsarist Russia. And the neighbors are selling apartments that are totally remodeled, refurbished, all new furniture and everything in the 26 million ruble range, about $280,000, $300,000. And these people want the same price, but it requires a lot of renovation. So they think it's worth that. And of course, we don't. So you just have to use your brain. Look at what you're getting versus what it's going to cost you to fix it. Because fixing things, if you have to remodel a 50, 60 square meter apartment, you're going to spend 4 or 5 million rubles by the time you remodel it, you put furniture in it, things like that. So just, think these things through. Do not rely on just the notary to search the paperwork and the problems with it. You want the notary to do it. That's her job. She's required to. Get what you can from your realtor. Realtors here do not work for one particular person. It's not like in the West where you sign an agreement and it says, I have your best interest in mind, I have their best interest in mind, or I have both your best interests. Realtors here are about the almighty dollar, or in our case, the almighty ruble. So, that being said, you want a realtor that's looking out for your interests. And you hire a realtor. You have that realtor take you, but make sure that realtor is not associated with the people that they're showing the apartments to you for. Why? Because they will negotiate harder for you. They will work harder for you. And they're knowledgeable, but you also want to go to the cadastre department in your local region, and you want to have them do a property search. You want to have a real estate lawyer look into the property for you. These are small expenses in Russia, because once you pay the cash, you have the keys, like George's here is asking about, title and keys. you're getting a paper that says you own it. But unlike in the West, there is no title insurance. When you buy it, if there's a problem, there's a right of way through the middle of your property, and it's not on the plan that you were given for this property. It's your problem now. If the electric isn't legal, it's your problem now. If the water isn't legal, it's your problem now. We bought an apartment where it was connected to the water and no money was owed on the water bill, but it turned out it was construction water. It was not residential water. Well, guess what? We had to pay to fix it, and you can't go back at the people. So these are just some things you need to be aware of. So we've talked about money a little bit. We've talked about real estate a little bit. Any other questions out there? If not, it will be an early stream, 41 minutes, almost a record for me. Again, if you're interested in the propaganda, the mainstream media, how they twist things, what they twist them for, and who's behind the scenes twisting things, go out here and click on the button that says The Great Narrative. Send me an email, ping me in PM in Telegram, or even on X. If you go to x.com/American Crimea, you can PM me there. I'll get it too. And I'll comp you 3 months of paid subscription. So that's my present to my loyal viewers that are out here. And then, like I say, for you guys only, you will get an email afterwards, and it will lay out how you go about earning extra free months. So that's my present to you guys, because I like you. You've been a loyal audience for me, and I will continue doing streams about Crimea and about Russia on this YouTube channel. So don't worry about that. I will be here every Saturday, mostly. If you haven't noticed, it's a rare occasion I'm not here, or at least I'll come for a few minutes and say, hey, I'm busy, I won't be here. So I'm giving you time to ask any more questions if you got them. And if not, see if there's anything else I can tell you. I'm hoping Raymond will be out there somewhere listening one of these days. You promised me Cheetos. I hear they're in Moscow. Got to get them to me, dude. And what else can I tell you? My daughter is here. What has she gone through getting here? Absolutely nothing. Left the United States, no problem. Entered Russia, no problem. No questions asked either direction. Don't listen to the horror stories. On money, I'll say this again. If you go to somebody and they're not asking you for a contract, and they're not asking you to show your passport, they're not doing it legally. And I know of an expat YouTuber who's extremely popular in Russia who's doing this. And he's doing it illegally, and I know he's under investigation. Do not get a temporary SIM card from somebody when you come to the country. Pay your mobile operator from the West for a month's worth of international cellular service, and go through the legal process of getting a SIM card. The new law is supposed to be passed where you should be able to obtain it in 1 day. I've heard from my sources in the Duma that this should be pushed through in the next couple of weeks. It was supposed to be by April 30th. It's May 10th now. So by the end of the month, maybe. Quasi-Sar, have you seen any old Soviet movies about World War II yesterday? I did not watch any old Soviet movies yesterday. Probably the first time in the 20 years I've been married to my wife. Yesterday we were just way too busy. I actually had to work. It's not a holiday in the West. And for those of you who don't know, I work for a Western company, let's call it, doing what I used to do in my prior life. So I worked during the day. We had other things going on. Just didn't have time. So did watch the parade and watched it in Russian, then watched it in English, dug through the news so I can talk about that a little bit in one of these upcoming articles. But this is a Soviet pastime, watching old Soviet movies on May 9th. So hardly anybody works on May 9th. My construction guys work on May 9th. The grocery stores work on May 9th. I work on May 9th. My wife teaches those students who actually still want their lessons on the 9th. George's. Yeah, ping me on Telegram. Maybe I'll share something about what I do. Ozzy, all old Soviet World War II movies are my favorites. One of the things I really like about them is if you look at Western World War II movies, all the trenches are perfectly square. They're shored up with wood and everything. Didn't happen that way. They're very realistic. There isn't a World War II war movie that I don't like. So again, if you're wondering, Telegram, ping me there. George's, I'll talk to you a little bit there. I can't share a lot of what I do, but I can give you a little bit of an idea. Just think about what my past was. I did work for a 3-letter agency. Send me a message here or in the email in the description under About on American Crimea YouTube channel, and I will get you that comp to those articles on the Ministry of Absolute Truth under the Great Narrative tab. So, any other questions? Share your referral link. What's this? Share the StreamYard referral link to your audience. Oh, no. You guys aren't interested in that. There is a link to the discounts on this Telegram channel, InfoWars Press. And if I can figure out how to get its name changed, I will change its name too, but that is the Ministry of Absolute Truth. Fury was a good movie, yes. It was a good movie. I don't know. One that I really liked was T-82. That was a good movie as well. So, okay, everybody, 49 minutes in, and everybody that showed up today is still out there. I'm not going to keep you any longer. If you have questions, you can leave them in the comments below, and or send me a message in Telegram. You can email me. I'm not great at responding to email. I will get you if you email me about the free subscription to my Substack. Then I will respond to that. I promise you on that. Telegram is the best way to get me for general things. Again, ministryofabsolutetruth.org. I know the guys out there especially will like it. But that said, I bid you adieu. До свидания. Arrivederci. Bon dia. Ciao, baby. Aloha. Sorry, that's all the languages I know. So, all right. No more questions. So I will bid you adieu. Bonne nuit. До свидания. Yeah, that's for those of you. I'll see you tomorrow. So, so everybody, have a good day, evening, afternoon, wherever you happen to be in the world. Do not be afraid to reach out and ask questions. I respond if I have time without even charging you for a consultation. So that said, got everything at A's studio here. So that said, пока.
С чего начинается Родина? С окошек горящих вдали, со старой отцовской буденовки, что где-то в шкафу мы нашли. А может, она начинается со стука вагонных колес, из клятвы, которую в юности ты ей в своем сердце принес. С чего начинается род?